Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Built for Life, Not Just Wealth. My name is Ryan Burklo.
And I'm Alex Collins.
Alex is back. I'm excited. I'm stoked, even though he's wearing a Seattle Seahawks beanie. That being said, Mr. Collins,
Wait. Super Bowl champion
we're moving on.
Seahawks.
It's March Madness. So we're moving on. Getting serious, Alex actually saw a LinkedIn post today, and it spurred a conversation between the two of us, and we thought we'd chat about it.
Yeah. So there's a gentleman by the name of Dennis Mosley Williams. He works in the financial advising space. He talks a lot about marketing and things of that nature. He does it through experiential. What he does for advisors and ultimately for clients is amazing. But what he posted was the reason why the post caught my attention was that it was talking about Banksy being unmasked. And so it was interesting to hear his take on it.
Can you pause there real quick? Because I don't know what that means. Banksy being unmasked.
Yeah, but so you're not familiar with Banksy, the artist?
No.
Got it. So I
guess I'm not that cool.
There is a world famous artist named Banksy.
Okay.
There's actually a museum to Banksy's work. And for years and years and years, people were trying to figure out who this person was, and they recently were unmasked.
Gotcha.
So imagine this absolutely phenomenal, my understanding, and I'm not intimately familiar with Banksy, but my understanding is that it's mostly like street art and things of that nature, but that it is just world-class art, makes you think, evokes emotion. People pay a lot for the pieces that are put together by Banksy.
Gotcha.
So Banksy was recently unmasked, and instead of curiosity, Dennis experienced sorrow. And the reason for it was, he was saying, it is so rare to have your work speak completely for itself and not have to speak for it yourself, that he was sad that Banksy was unmasked, because now the work may not speak for itself anymore, because it will forever be attached to the person Banksy, as opposed to this mystery and enigma.
Right.
And so that, I thought that was really an interesting take on it. And he took it one step further, and said, and was like, okay, how does that then translate to financial planning? And where he went with it was that the currency of financial planning is the time that is spent with clients to create, the word he used is intimacy, which I understand why he used that. I when you and I were talking about it, we were thinking about it more as like a deep personal relationship as opposed to intimacy.
Right.
But it was a really interesting concept of okay, so what is it that makes advisors different, and how can we, truly provide clients with the best possible experience?
I mean, I think the reason this resonated with you is, what, and I'm not trying to speak for you, but it's clearly resonating with me too. It's more of, you and I wanted to build a financial planning firm that was different. It wasn't like we only spoke about investments or rates of return or just like the financial jargon that we spew and still spew on some level today, because we are dorks in that way, more so you than me. But
Very much so.
and I mean that in a loving way.
I know you do.
But more so around what we've also personally experienced with ourselves and our own and what we've done personally, as well as just with our clients, is it's much easier to build the plan when you know the person and what they value and what their goals are and what means something to them, because when they have that so tight and they know that their advisor knows that so well, they know that the plan is built towards them and what they want, and not built either for the advisor or built towards a life that the client doesn't even want.
right? Uh, I would suggest it's actually more challenging to do that. But what you're actually saying is that it is easier to build a functional plan that will work for the client as opposed to just a plan. Because building
Right.
a plan is
Or
easy.
building a
And
yeah. I
like,
can build a spreadsheet and here's your magical plan. That's different than
right.
actually like actually I can't build a spreadsheet. You'll build the spreadsheet, but the point is valid.
Sure. I mean, or like, throw any of these topics or questions into, any of the AIs, chat, Claude, whoever. And like you'll get answers back on like how to structurally do a lot of this stuff, right? And so it used to be that, knowledge and ability to invest was the currency of being a financial advisor, and knowing all of the information. And yes, there is a lot of information to know, but that's no longer the currency because that is to a large extent at the fingertips of anybody who has the
Yep.
time to be able to do it.
Yep.
But where this becomes different is when you start building in intimate knowledge around not just a generic situation, but a specific situation for the client, like what to do in their unique situation. And this requires significant knowledge that is just not present in AI yet. And fortunately or unfortunately, may or may not be present across the industry. So it's really important to make sure that you're finding an advisor that will sit down and understand your unique situation and spend the time to do so. Learn about your goals, and one of the things that you brought up, and I wholeheartedly agree with, is the values. Because without creating a plan that speaks to, okay, what is it that we're truly trying to do? Like we're just building a roadmap to wealth. And that's like the whole reason that we are called what we are.
Well,
It,
and the fact is if that was so easy to do, we wouldn't have the financial crisis that we have in America right now.
yeah,
Let's just call it what it is, right? When you know someone personally and you know what they've experienced, when they've actually called you up and said, "My brother died,"
right.
or "This happened," and now you have an understanding of where the client is. You also understand that the client also told you what's really valuable for them, and what the way they engage with their kids is not via presence, but via experiences and making sure that they're at their child's, choir concert or they go on
Did
vacations.
did I tell you that Sienna has a choir concert tonight that we're going to?
No, but I'm glad she's singing and not you.
Oh,
Um,
everybody is glad about that.
but again, when you understand, I brought up my brother passed away in 2019, and not that that changed me in many different ways, but it also made me hold more tight the family that I've got, both my personal family as well as my extended family with my in-laws and whatnot, and making sure that we're spending time with them in an experiential way. Luckily, we're using our financial capacity to do that,
Right.
and that's where we want to spend our money or save money to be able to spend it on. That's valuable, and those are our values. Knowing that helps you advise me better.
Well, and it it goes beyond that, right? It's not just knowing that about you, but also then having the experience and the knowledge from all of the other folks that we've helped, all of the training that we have, the ability to, like, how do you ask uh, AI or an advisor a question that you don't know that you should be asking?
Yep.
How do you find the things that you don't know that you don't know? And like like when we break the world down into things that we know and things that we don't know, and then things that we know versus things that we don't know, like, and go through that box, that matrix. The part that's the scariest is the things that we don't know, because that section is huge, undefined, and it's not even on our radar to begin thinking about it. That's where the true value of a good planner or good advisor is to be able to think forward, having been through all of these various different situations, know enough about your current situation and be able to anticipate some of the potential problems that you're going to have based on what you're trying to accomplish.
Or how you're gonna react
Yeah.
because they know you so well,
Right.
right?
Yes.
In 2020, when the market crashed during COVID, we got this phone call from you, Mr. and Mrs. Client. So now that we're making this decision in this time, we want to talk through those different variables, like knowing how the clients have reacted and their behaviors and their values. When you can tie that all in,
Yep.
it makes it seamless. It makes it more palatable. And if it's more palatable for the client, guess what they do?
They're going to act on it. They're going to be more
They
successful. They're going to hold to it. All of the things that drive success in a plan go up.
Yep.
You and I have said this for years. We would love to say that you and I are the most, you know, important reason that a financial plan comes together or succeeds. We are. It is the client and their ability to hold to the plan.
No, we're
Now
just
it's
the guide that brings it in and hopefully pushes them when they need a gentle push
or
or
puts an
a
arm around
shove,
them
like
and
if it's from me.
well, and puts an arm around them and shows them care and compassion and like helps lead them out of the dark that they may be in because of whatever life situations are.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many clients give me a call about something totally random and like want to talk through or walk through this thing that has massive implications on their financial future, but has nothing to do with stocks or investments or insurance or any of the other stuff that we deal with directly. And it's having that ability to have that emotional connection and have somebody that you can go to for true advice.
Yep.
That's what this is all about.
No, and that's the takeaway right there
Yep.
is hopefully you're working with if you have an advisor, hopefully you're working with someone that you trust and they know you personally.
And
And if you don't, we would suggest you go find somebody like that.
yeah, well, you want somebody who asks really good questions, who makes you think differently, because otherwise they're just an order taker.
Yep, absolutely. So we hope this episode was valuable for you, Mr. Collins. Appreciate the LinkedIn note this morning.
Yeah.
Um, Head over to Built for Life, not just wealth.com, and at the top of the page is a contact us. It's a great way to reach out to us with any questions that might be popping up in your mind around either today's topic or some other topic that might be coming your way. Also, in the show notes, there will be the link for you to either go watch the video or if you want to get your own financial scorecards, you can kind of begin to take your own basic action step. There's a scorecard there. It takes you to a website. Alex and I do not get any of this information. It's strictly there to print out a scorecard for you to see what you look like financially and to help you take basic action steps.
Yep.
We hope this episode was valuable for you. And Mr. Collins,
Make it a great day.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not to be construed as tax, legal, or investment advice. Although the information has been gathered from sources believed to be reliable, please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon only when coordinated with individual professional advice. Guest speakers and their firms are not affiliated with or endorsed by Park Avenue Securities, Guardian, or Quantified Financial Partners, and opinions stated are their own. Guardian, its subsidiaries, agents, and employees do not provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. Consult your tax, legal, or accounting professional regarding your individual situation. All investments and investment strategies contain risk and may lose value. This material is intended for general public use. By providing this content, Park Avenue Securities LLC is not undertaking to provide investment advice or a recommendation for any specific individual or situation, or to otherwise act in a fiduciary capacity. Please contact a financial representative for guidance and information that is specific to your individual situation. Ryan and Alex are registered representatives and financial advisors of Park Avenue Securities LLC, OSJ 200 Market Street, Suite 1850, Portland, Oregon 97201. Phone number 503-221-1226. Securities products and advisory services offered through Park Avenue Securities, member FINRA, SIPC. Financial representatives of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, New York. Park Avenue Securities is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Quantified Financial Partners is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Park Avenue Securities or Guardian. Ryan Burklo, CA Insurance License Number 0K24924. Alexander Collins, CA Insurance License Number 0H24806.
8855197.1, expiration date April 2028.